I met Vera in high school. She was the prettiest girl there. I had no game at all, but when I asked her to be my girlfriend, she said yes. I became the happiest boy alive. We hung out almost every day, and when my family would go on trips, my parents would let her come with us. It was like she was already a part of the family. We planned our future together, talked about kids, picket fences, and how many dogs we were going to have. It was a fairy tale we wove for ourselves. But then, our lives were upended when I wasn't accepted at the university we both applied to. The only place that accepted me was at the other end of the country, and I simply couldn't bring myself to ask her to go with me. Verity dreamed of that school ever since she was a little girl, and she got her dream. I just didn't imagine that I would not be a part of it. She and I had to do a long-distance thing, and it was tough. Only ever getting to talk to her via text and video calls wasn't quite as good as having her in front of me. And then Garrett came into the picture. He was a senior. He was the captain of the football team. Tall, handsome, and built like a Renaissance statue. He was basically a Greek god. His fraternity had a joint party with Vera's sorority, and that's how they met. Vera would gush about him on our calls, and I got the sense that she didn't like him as just a friend. It's a real shame that he's such a player. Last I heard, he was dating 3 girls at the same time. Okay, I don't know how that's relevant to us talking about Thanksgiving. But, okay, why is it a shame when you have a boyfriend who's buying you a ticket to Vermont to come spend the holiday with his family? Jesus, I was just trying to share. But she wasn't just trying to share, because Vera didn't come for Thanksgiving. When I called her, I was sure she meant to ignore my call. Instead, she pressed accept, and I saw her kissing Garrett. Vera? What the heck? Vera jumped from the shock of my voice, and she dropped her phone. Jeez, Paul, you made me drop my phone. Like, why are you even calling? I'm busy. Yeah, busy kissing another man. What do you want me to say? You and me, it's gotten boring. We do boring things like dinner with your boring family. And I don't want to be that girl. I want to have fun. And Garrett's a whole lot of fun. There were girls cheering in the background, and Garrett's voice carried into the call. Why don't you dump that boyfriend of yours and come play with us at the hot tub? But he made me drop my phone. Now it's broken. He has to pay for my phone. I'll buy you 3 phones. And with that, Vera dropped the call. I tried calling her back, but she blocked me. Her Instagram was gone. She even blocked me on FriendFace. I quit college and moved closer to her campus. I got a job as a messenger boy at some random company, just so I could wait for her and get her back. But every time I waited outside her apartment, she would avoid me. When Garrett would come pick her up in his fancy car, I would call out to her, but she would pretend not to hear me. I threw away my future for her, and she threw me away like I was a used toy. I supported her ever since we were kids. I built my life around her. When she spent all her money on buying a Birkin bag and she got in trouble with her parents, I sent her money. When she got her car towed and when she needed it repaired, I gave her the money I was going to use for rent. I even sold my gaming computer just so she could get the dress she really wanted for her birthday. All the time, she was using all that to get the attention of another guy. I drowned my sorrows in work, but as if I hadn't gone through enough, I found out that I was working for my rival. Garrett's dad owned the company I worked for, and one morning I saw him walking into the office. He saw me and immediately recognized me. Oh, it's you, the creepy guy who keeps following Vera. You better stop doing that or I'll tell my dad to fire you. He said that while arm in arm with a different girl. He made me wash his car, and although I tried to tell him it wasn't part of my job, Garrett told me he'd report me if I didn't do it. The moment he left, my boss came to me rubbing his forehead. Turned out, Garrett was his dad's biggest headache. I wish he was more like you. Honestly, I worry about leaving him the company when I retire. As Garrett went about with his player ways, his dad and I became closer. He treated me as if I was his own son. He taught me everything about his business, and he promoted me to become his right-hand man. I was earning a high six figures, and with that came status and prestige. Restaurants and clubs opened up to me. Everywhere I go, people give me VIP tables, and of course, the girls flocked around me. They were all intrigued by the city's newest eligible bachelor. While I was clubbing, enjoying my new life at the top, I ran into Garrett and Vera. Oh, wow, you really living it up, huh? Didn't know Dad paid his interns this well. I hope you're not using company funds. Oh, I'm not like you, Garrett. I don't need to steal from Daddy to buy my drinks. Oh, what did you say? Nothing. I said I hope your girlfriend knows how many girls you're seeing at the moment. What? What's he saying, honey? You told me you were done being a playboy. You! Shut your mouth. I will see you at Dad's office. I'll make sure you won't ever get to party again. The next Monday, Garrett charged at my desk and grabbed my arm, dragging me into his dad's office. He had Vera in tow, no doubt expecting to humiliate me in front of her. Ah, son, I'm glad you came in today. I had something to talk to you. What is happening? Why are you dragging my COO like that? What? COO? I thought he was an intern. Haha, that was months ago, son. You told me you had no intention of running my business, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I've made Paul here my heir. This way, you can burn through your inheritance as much as you like, but my business will stay alive. What? What are you talking about? You can't do that to me. Afraid it's already done. Now, if you have nothing else to complain about, Garrett, I have to go. I've got a marketing gala to attend. Oh, and by the way, Vera, your boyfriend here was with a redhead at the Red Clam the other day. They seemed very friendly. Vera started shouting and sobbing, but I had already made my way out of the office. I heard Vera break up with Garrett. As I got off the elevator to get to my car, I heard heels click-clacking behind me. Paul, wait! I broke up with Garrett. We can get back together now. Are you kidding me? Me? Get back together with you? When I have them? That was when 5 super hot girls opened the door to my limo and beckoned me inside. Vera looked shocked. So the rumors were true. You're the playboy everyone's been talking about. My sister said you dated her only to discard her. Was that revenge against me? How did you get like this? I smiled up at her and kissed a couple of the girls who were in the limo with me. You broke my heart. I pulled the door closed and my beautiful driver sped away. I handed the money to all the girls in the limo and winked at them. Thanks for helping me there, girls. That was pretty satisfying. Sure, I dated here and there, but I didn't really become a playboy like Garrett. I just wanted Vera to see that now I was the one people desired. I ended up actually dating one of those girls, though. We ran the company together when my boss retired. Meanwhile, Vera had no choice but to get back together with Garrett, and Garrett lost his entire trust fund betting on car races. The pair came crawling back to me years later, begging for help. Vera was juggling 3 babies in her arms. Garrett's mansion was about to be foreclosed on. He owed a lot of money to the banks, and he had no job. He sold his cars, his yacht, his dad's jet, and still, he was swimming in debt. Please, man, I'm begging you. I just need a little money. I'll work for it. I'll do whatever you want. I can be your maid. Anything, please. I can't live on the streets. So, now the guy you both look down on holds the key to your salvation. I hired them both. Garrett is my personal janitor, and Vera is my maid at home. She took care of all my girlfriend's needs. Sarah and I tied the knot at a lovely resort in Hawaii. Garrett and Vera were invited, of course, as staff, not guests. It was so satisfying seeing their eyes filled with shock when they saw how grand and lavish our ceremony was. And nothing felt sweeter than finally saying I do to the woman I loved. For the longest time, I thought I was nothing. Thanks to Vera and Garrett, I almost believed I would never be worth someone's love. And now I was the object of their envy.